Hey everyone, welcome back to Intuitive Eating Explained. So, this is an 11-part series exploring intuitive eating. In the first episode, we explored what intuitive eating is as a whole, and the next 10 episodes, we're going through each of the 10 principles of intuitive eating. And this episode, we're up to principle 4 of intuitive eating, which is challenging the food police. So I'm Emma Townsin, I'm a registered dietitian and I'm an intuitive eating counsellor. And I work with women to bring back peace and joy around food. So this week, challenging the food police is about challenging the voices that tell you food is good or bad. So the food police are those voices that are deep in your mind that tell you this food is good or bad, this food is healthy or unhealthy. And then this extends to you being good or bad, or you being healthy or unhealthy. Labeling foods with these moralistic terms can easily morph into our own sense of value or worth related to the way we are eating. The food police can make you feel you're a failure based on what you have eaten, and it adds this sense of morality around foods. But food does not have moral value, and what you eat does not change your value or your worth. Our culture moralizes food and encourages judgment around food. So, from friends and family to healthcare and advertising, we are taught that the way we eat makes us a good or bad person. But really, how helpful is this? Does this teach you to honor your body's needs? Or is it teaching you to perhaps fight against yourself, fight against your own body's sensations and communication? So, challenging the food police is where we work with those thoughts that are deep in our mind. And we notice the thoughts that are, say, hurtful, or the thoughts that are unsupportive that we're having around food. And we start to separate our eating from our sense of worth and our value, and exploring the other more supportive ways that we can think about these foods. So, for example, if we think that cake is bad, and then we are at an event or at a party and we're faced with cake there. If we're thinking of it as bad, we might try to perhaps avoid the cake, because if we eat the cake, then we're bad. But we do this even if we really want it. This can often just lead to us continuing to think about the cake while we're at the party, and then we lose focus in the social and the cultural connection that we get from the experience, and we really miss out on the pleasure and the benefits that we get from that social experience. And we might even end up eating the cake or something similar afterwards, but with a sense of urgency and in a more extreme way, or feeling out of control later. Or in that situation, we might end up eating the cake at the time, thinking it's a bad thing to do, and then feeling this sense of guilt and shame. And again, that can play on our mind and really take away the benefits of the cultural and the social benefits that we're getting from that experience. So if we're thinking of food in this way, is it really healthy or supportive? The other option is to challenge the food police, where we neutralize the thoughts around cake. So we see cake as just cake. It's not good, it's not bad. Whether we eat it or we don't eat it makes no difference to our own value or worth. So then we'll see cake at the party or the event, and we can decide whether we truly want the cake. Based on different factors, how our body's feeling, our hunger and fullness, the connection that we might get from the cake, the pleasure we might get from the cake. If we do feel like it, we can eat that cake in a comfortable amount so we can feel physically more comfortable in our body. And we can also gain the social and the cultural connection from the eating experience and from the event in general. So food is not good or bad. All food can fit in a supportive and a healthy way. And it's the thoughts and behaviours that we have around food that can be unsupportive. So to start challenging the food police, there's 2 steps I'm going to give you. First is to reflect on the foods that you might think of as bad. And challenge yourself to think of some of the benefits to these foods. In what way can including these foods or thinking neutrally about these foods actually be healthy or supportive for you? And step number 2 is, as you're going about your day, notice the thoughts that come up around foods. When you notice thoughts around food that is perhaps that they're bad or unhealthy, think about where these thoughts are coming from. And is there another more supportive way that you can think about these thoughts instead? So try to take a pause and reflect on the thoughts and bring in some other more supportive thoughts. Let me know how you go with these activities, and come back next week and we're going to explore principle 5, which is feeling your fullness.